Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. Somebody said, "Good day, Kev. Should be here shortly." And that's right, here I am. So, first things first, let's get some sound checks in. Check one, check two, check three. Uh-huh. Let's see. What's a good sound check cut? Let's see. In France, a skinny man died of a big disease with a little name. By chance, his girlfriend came across a needle and so she did the same. Anybody? Can you hear me? Time. That's what we're living in. Signs of the time, man. So everybody said check okay. Good, good. Okay. Then secondly, I want to welcome anybody here to the show for the first time. If you are here for the first time, make sure that you hit that like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms, subscribe to my channel so you can stay in the loop. Okay, we'll go over a couple of those things in a second. But the first thing I had to do is check the mic. Now, I done switched my phone because I was thinking, y'all, that the little popping and cracking and popping and stuff in my microphone could be the phone that I was using. So I switched out the phone to my secondary phone. So we're going to see how this works. If y'all hear some snapping and cracking and popping, let me know. Then also, you all that have been sending me screenshots of, the live stream numbers. Somebody, I think last couple weeks ago, saw that it was like 11,000 people watching. Then many of you all have been seeing astronomical likes compared to what I'm seeing. And y'all have sent me some screenshots. If that happens, if you're sitting there looking at, 9,000 likes and all of us are going, oh, well, all I see is 55, something like that, please screenshot that and email it to me because I introduced that to Facebook last night and I was on there. I mean, not Facebook, but YouTube. I blew their mind, y'all. They didn't know what to do with it. Shoot, we're busted. Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and have to get back with you. I'm going to escalate this up to my superiors. So they're scrambling, trying to make some excuse of why. For example, somebody just said they see 11,000 likes. If you're seeing that type of likes or views or people watching, please screenshot that right now. Catch it right now before they erase it. And email it to me right after the show because I'm building my case, y'all. Right now, I got him on the ropes. Because I spoke to my agent and she said because there is the elections coming up. All these social media platforms are cracking down. That's why Twirly and all of these people are getting hit. A lot of people are getting hit because they are looking to say that's this and misinformation. And they're removing channels without no warnings, no strikes, nothing. Either they could demonetize you out of nowhere or just straight you wake up and your stuff's gone. Just gone. So you see what we're up against, y'all. We are up against a behemoth, but you guys have been wonderful and we'll go ahead and ride the train until the wheels fall off. Now, let's get busy, man. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. What? Just some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorilla in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Now, before we get into all of the fun and games, don't forget, Kev got himself a corner store that y'all could check out and buy some merch, especially considering Christmas time is here. Happiness and cheer. Go to the store and buy some stuff from the store. I'd appreciate it, definitely. And also this number, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, which I am using the phone that you guys been texting. I haven't booted this phone up in a little bit. And as soon as I booted it up, all these people, MAGA, 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 MAGA. So I got to respond to y'all. Okay, so hang tight. But nonetheless, please text MAGA to that phone just in case you two feel froggy and want to jump, y'all. And finally, hey, Christmas time is here. If you don't want to buy nothing, you just want to put something in my little stocking for my monthly fundraiser, feel free. The link is right below the video. You can support the channel that way. Now, guys, it looks like the dumb baits are over. Not the debates. The dumb baits are over finally. So these unnecessary Republican debates were taking place as if any of them are going to challenge Donald Trump. They know they're not. And of course, I got my opinion about the motives of many of these people that are participating in those debates. And I know many of you have your opinions as well. And all I like to do, though, is sit back and watch the debates and take away some highlights, some nuggets. Okay, not here to say, well, I ain't going to be lying. I'm about to criticize some people. But I will say this. Vivek went out with a bang. Now, many people say, well, I don't trust Vivek. Okay, that's fine. But one thing I can say is his talking points, the stuff that he is saying, if he does not believe it, he definitely knows exactly what most conservatives are thinking. Because the stuff that he says and the way he responds to them, I'm thinking to myself, one, I'm thinking the same thing. Two, I look at the response of the rest of the Republicans and the media as an indicator to where he might fall in. Okay, how dangerous is he to them based on their response to him? Okay, so I look at that and I say, wow, they are going hard in on Vivek. In fact, y'all, he has reached Nazi status. Now, when you get labeled as a Nazi, you have arrived as a conservative. You ain't gonna call yourself no Republican or no conservative or no ultra MAGA folks if you ain't labeled to be a Nazi or a white nationalist. Yeah, you better if you ain't got that title, you ain't done enough damage. So he didn't reach Nazi status. And the third thing I like about him and his performance throughout all of these debates is he never took an opportunity to take a shot at Donald Trump and throw him under the bus. Now, does that mean he's loyal to Trump? Does that mean he doesn't have skeletons in his closet? I don't know. All I can say is I'm basing my opinion off of what he is saying and what he has done thus far. If he proves to be a skunk later, then we'll go ahead and we'll smell it. After a while, the funk will come out. That's what everybody. I mean, under Trump's first presidency, many people could not contain that funk. That's right. Give me the funk, the whole funk, nothing but the funk. That funk start coming out on a whole bunch of people that we started off saying, oh, they're pretty cool. But the ones that they attacked immediately in his campaign or his cabinet, rather, I was like, Michael Flynn must be real dangerous. Got him out of there immediately. So we will see. But for now, let's check out these massive knockouts that took place the other night. And some conservatives in the audience didn't like some of this stuff. And I'm saying, I don't see what the problem is. So we're going to go over some highlights and then we're going to end with, of course, the telltale sign. How did the media respond? Anything that ticks them off, I like it. When the fake news get mad, you doing something right. So let's go ahead and start off with Megyn Kelly.
Former President Trump recently promised, if he's reelected, to bring back and expand his program restricting immigration from Muslim countries. Here he is in Iowa on October 16th.
No longer will we allow dangerous lunatics, haters, bigots, and maniacs to get residency in our country. We're not going to let them stay here.
Yeah, because that's foolish. That's crazy talk. Why would you let them stay here? See, only these Western countries that have been brainwashed by these globalists feels that this is a good idea. Anybody with common sense will say, hey, man, if you don't like me, I'm not going to let you come over here and post up. If, unfortunately, whatever religion you believe in, if you believe in the radical part of that religion, okay, then you're not safe to be walking around here. If your religion, lets you know that, hey, these people that I'm around right here are all infidels and, deaf to all that, that's a problem. So Trump is making common sense comments that a lot of people are saying, yeah, man, I don't want to judge people, but I got to err on the side of caution. We can't take the opportunity to be stupid and reckless right now and naive to what's going on around the world. That's what many of our enemies are banking on. Let the United States give us the benefit of the doubt. Let them be naive enough to let us in the door like a big fat Trojan horse. And Trump is saying, can't do it. Now, many would call him, you know what, he's a xenophobe. So I call him a common sense phobe. That's what I'm calling him. So what else?
If you empathize with radical Islamic terrorists and extremists, you're disqualified. You're just disqualified.
There you go. You're just disqualified. It's that simple. So she plays that clip of him, and she's going to get some feedback from these people who wants to become the president. And these are just smart things. You know, I'm sorry to tell you this. It ain't nothing personal against you, man. But we don't know your intentions. Now, for some reason, if we do that, our country, where you're bigoted, all these Western countries tiptoe around this stuff. We don't want to judge them. We don't want to assume and all of this stuff. But they don't hold all the other countries that don't subscribe to Western values the same way. They're going, that's crazy. We're not going to let you come up in our crib. If you are a patriotic American and you're talking about, yeah, can I get some citizenship in Russia? Why you want citizenship in Russia? You don't like the way your own government's being ran? You're a patriot and you want to live here in Russia? You do realize we got two totally different philosophies of governing, right? Can I trust you? No, you couldn't trust me. It's not saying I would go over there and cause some trouble. But the only reason I would go to Russia would be to visit. It wouldn't be to live under that regime. And they would know that. They would have to question everything that I do. They would be looking at where I'm going. And God forbid they get into a squabble with the U.S. Where do you think my loyalty is going to fall? They immediately would start saying, go take a look at this guy that's from America here, because we're trying to bomb his country and we don't want him over here sabotaging anything. These are just common sense things that most people think about. So let's see how Nikki Haley responds to this, because she is starting to look, first of all, like she's aged 50 years since she started these debates and Vivek been digging in her. But let's see what she's talking about.
Mr. Haley, do you support President Trump's plan for ideological screening?
Well, I don't think that you have a straight up Muslim ban as much as you look at the countries that have terrorist activity that want to hurt Americans. You can ban those people from those countries. That's the way we should look at it, is which countries are a threat to us. You look at what came across the southern border. What worries me the most are those that came from Iran, from Yemen, from Lebanon, those areas where they say death to America. That's where you want to be careful. It's not about a religion. It's about a fact that certain countries are dangerous and are threats to us. A president has one job, and that's to keep Americans safe. And that's what we've got to do, is make sure that we have good national security in that process. And that's the way you should look at it, is where the terrorist threats are, how we're going to deal with it, and what we're doing about it. And the biggest threat we have right now is communist China.
Now, so far, she's given a safe answer. She ain't throw Trump under. I'm surprised she ain't come out like, you know what, Trump's a white nationalist, and I wouldn't be a xenophobe like him. I'm surprised she didn't full-blown roll over on her back and show her belly and throw Trump under the bus. But she can't do that because she knows that Trump is right about this. And the majority, if not all, of the Republican voters are saying, you better answer this one right. Don't you get up there and start talking about something. We don't want to be perceived as racist and xenophobic. No time to be sitting back sensitive to other people's feelings. This is an important situation, especially considering what's going on all around the world because of Biden and his weakness, not to mention mucus and that wide open border. So she answered this very safely thus far, also trying to tiptoe around religion. Now, when it comes down to religion, here's the thing. If you know the basis of several religions, certain religions are innocuous. I do not feel threatened around folks that say they're Hindu. I just don't. There's nothing I ever heard about Hindus' teachings that makes me feel like there's a part of their teaching that might be radical. Okay, let me tell you something. We are going to blow up everything. It just don't happen. I don't hear that. Now, not all parts of Islam believes in all the radical stuff. The hard part is trying to decipher who's who and what part do you believe in. So how you want to handle that? Hey, but I'm going to tell you right now, if it was me, boy, the screening would be tight. I couldn't just sit back and say, man, I trust you. No, don't worry. I do not believe in that. I don't believe this. I'll be going, you sure? You sure? You don't mind if we keep an eye on you for a little bit, right? Because I just want to make sure. I just want to make sure. My first responsibility is to my people. Okay. So with that being said, she's trying to tiptoe around that. And then Rhonda Sanctimonious got to come in and try to one-up her.
But you have to also look at what Iran and Russia are doing as well. And we need to be paying attention to that. That's why we have to focus on things like cyber, on space, on artificial intelligence, and not just the regular things that we've always focused on.
Okay, here comes Ron.
It's not just terrorism, though. That's important. But look what's happened in Europe. You have more anti-Semitism in Germany than at any time since Adolf Hitler. Why? Because they imported mass numbers of people who reject their culture.
So now we see then, right now, it appears that they still have a little sense left. These are smart things, and these are real reasons why we got these problems. These are real reasons why Europe is in a mess right now, sitting back, struggling to keep their society together because they thought it would be a smart idea to go ahead and bring a whole bunch of people into the country that didn't have their values, no loyalty to their country, but it was a way to virtue signal and show that they're open and they're diverse. So now Ron's about to take a shot at Nikki. Now it seems that Nikki is a punching bag lately, y'all. She's a punching bag. So she gonna need somebody to step in and say, I guess, misogynistic men that are attacking her because she's just a damsel in distress, but she's strong. She's strong and powerful too at the same time. Yet she's like little Bo Peep.
Europe is committing suicide with the mass migration, and it's illegal and legal. Nikki Haley said the other day there should be no limits on legal immigration, and that
Ron, you can't criticize Nikki. What are you doing? She's a woman. She doesn't deserve any criticism, okay? Just allow her to carry the title of being a strong, independent woman, but not actually produce that she is a strong, independent woman. And when Vivek jump on her back like a spider monkey, I'm going to see some cracks in her shield in a second. Here we go.
Corporate CEOs should set the policy on that. There needs to be limits on immigration, and we should not be importing people from cultures that are hostile. So, for example, I said with the Gaza, you had some of the squad wanted to import 300,000 people from the Gaza Strip. I said no.
Dummies. Now, that right there, we might have some raggedy folks in the Republican Party, but that squad is on a whole nother level of raggedy. Whole nother level, man. Yeah, they so raggedy, I can't recognize what they were at one point. You ever seen a toy or a product that's been so busted up, so duct taped together, so jerry-rigged, you don't even recognize it? You're like, what was that thing? All I see is duct tape and glue, the broken pieces and chips. That's how raggedy the squad is. So, of course, they would love to go ahead and put our whole culture and country in danger by bringing a whole bunch of people from Hamas. Man, them some dumb folks, and the Democrat tolerates them. They're the reason the squad is in effect right about now, because they wanted to be diverse. Here we go.
No, we're not taking anyone from Gaza because of the anti-Semitism and because they reject American culture. So we've got to get smart about this. We cannot let the United States be like Europe.
Okay, so far so good. So far so good. But this is when it goes off the rails. So little Bo Peep, who lost her sheep, Nikki Haley, the strong, independent woman, needs Jabba the Hutt to step in and rescue her. Me, Sir Jabba, come to your rescue. Listen to this beach whale jump out the ocean to try to save Nikki Haley.
Europe.
And while we disagree about some issues and we disagree about who should be president of the United States, what we don't disagree on is this is a smart, accomplished woman and you should stop insulting.
I need food in my mouth. You hear Buff Love? You hear Orson Welles? You hear that well? Come in talking about something. We are there must agree that you shouldn't be attacking this smart, independent woman. Boy, is he a pandering, sellout, big bag of nothing. Unbelievable. And look at her accepting the chivalry. I'm surprised she didn't say, hey, thanks, but no thanks. I don't need you fighting my battles, Orson. I don't need you fighting my battles, Orca. So here he is trying to win some brownie points by stepping in talking about what I agree, just to try to go after Vivek. That's what it comes down to, because Vivek is the best debater out of all of them. Okay, whether he is going to make a great whatever in anybody's cabinet, whatever he goes on to do. One thing you cannot say about him is he's a raggedy debater. He's very intelligent. He's quick. He's witty. And he started off trying to play nice with these people. But what did they do? They wanted to hit him below the belt because they couldn't beat him intellectually. So they start throwing mud on him, and he learned real quick. Okay, I guess I'm going to have to start sticking and jabbing and ripping it up like this. And look at Nikki. Look at her. Thank you. Thank you, Orson.
So I'm going to take this. So first of all, I think we just learned something.
Uh-oh. Orson's going to get it.
We learned three things right there. First of all, Chris Christie also doesn't know what provinces in eastern Ukraine he actually wants us to fight for.
But I bet you he knows the whole McDonald's menu. Big Mac, filet of fish, quarter pounder French fries, icy cold, thick shake, sundaes, and apple pies. You deserve a break today at McDonald's. I bet you he could play Fat Albert right now with no prosthetics or nothing. Hey, Rudy. All you gotta do is spray paint him with a little bronze and stick him right out there on the camera. So there he is, man, up here talking reckless about leave that woman alone. Always messing with her. She's smart and intelligent. Okay, why don't you let her fight her own battles? But you took this opportunity to try to virtue signal. Now you're gonna get smacked around virtually.
Chris, your version of foreign policy experience was closing a bridge from New Jersey to New York.
Yeah. And look at Ron DeSanctimonious standing in between them like, I'm going to let this play out. I don't want to get in the way of this. I'm going to go ahead and let Vivek take one of my competitors out. So now remember in the beginning, he couldn't get a word out without every single person on the stage starting to attack him. Couldn't get a word out. Now all of a sudden, Ron DeSantis is sitting back like, let's let this play out. So let me see. A bridge?
Everybody a favor. Just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal, and get the hell out of this race. Just walk yourself off that stage, enjoy a nice meal.
Yeah, that's why I think I'll do that. You got one? You got one? Because I'll tell you, that'll get me out the race real quick. Right now, I could be in the middle of pandering. Somebody behind the curtain with a hot dog or something. I'll be like, you know what you need to do is leave this. Is that a hot dog? Is that a hot dog? Immediately. So this dude just told to bounce, get your butt back over to Jersey where you belong. Okay. You can go ahead and jump out the race. You can jump off a bridge. You can do whatever because you are a 100%. Now this right here is another prototype of a rhino. 100% uncut pure rhino and a sellout too because he loved Donald Trump until he didn't get put in his cabinet. Same thing with Nikki. And, honestly, all of them up there have shown that they are willing to sell Donald Trump out, who ain't never done nothing to him. That's the crazy part about it. They are sellouts for nothing. The only one that hasn't done it is Vivek, and that's why I give him respect. Now, let's continue, because I guess that was the end of Chris Christie, but hey, it's a bonus round at the end we're going to listen to.
Let me start here is transgenderism is a mental health disorder. Okay. We don't let you smoke a cigarette by the age of 18. We don't let you have an addictive drink of alcohol by the age of 21. And I just challenge Ron DeSantis to go one step further and support what I think is clearly within the authority to do using federal funds, just like Reagan did in '84 for the Highway Act that said the minimum drinking age needs to be 21. We can do the same thing when it comes to banning genital mutilation or chemical castration. Okay.
Now, he is just saying it very straightforward. He ain't mincing words, and this is why I can appreciate the way he's debating. Because what he's doing is not watering down how he feels about the situation. If he don't believe what he believes, hey, he's really faking the funk here. Because I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, it is a mental disorder. But how many of them up there got the gonads to say that? Because you know right off rip, by saying it's a mental disorder, you're transphobic. You're trying to unexist us. You don't want us to exist. You want us genocided. All of that stuff. A lot of people would try to tiptoe and placate and all that. You know what? That one now there's science that shows that it's a mental disorder. I mean, we could simplify this. This is one of them things that you would get the tough love, the tough counseling. It's one of them things like when you'll hear somebody that went off and shot up some people. You know, the shooter came in. We're still trying to figure out his motivation. That we're reading his manifesto. Excuse me. I can go ahead and answer all those questions about his motivation. Well, we got somebody over here right now. Let's see what this man has to say. Do you know the shooter? No. Well, how do you know what the shooter's motivation was? Because I got common sense. Well, what do you think the motivation was? Crazy. What? Crazy. I mean, y'all could go ahead and go around the mulberry bush trying to figure it out. Well, he could have been deprived as a kid and he was probably picked on the playground. Crazy. I was picked on. I was the bully and I was the bullier at one point. You know, we all go around the mulberry bush. I didn't decide, you know what? That's it. I'm taking all my anger out on everybody. Crazy is the answer. See, the most simplest answer is the answer. So he went straight to it. Like, hey, mental disorder. What else?
Okay, let me
clear
get
on the federal
Haley.
level. I'm crystal clear. That's where I stand.
Got it.
That's a mental health disorder. That's where I
it,
need to be
Swami. For months, you campaigned as a unifier.
Oh, shoot. They about to try to get him on this one, and it's going to backfire. Here we go.
Then you stood up at the first debate and attacked all of your competitors as bought and paid for. The second debate, you changed your tune, saying, these are good people on this stage, admitting you can come across as a bit of a know-it-all and rejecting the practice of personal insults.
So wait, you're telling me he can't change up his strategy, debate to debate? He started off trying to be nice, started off trying to be civil. What did you want him to do? Stand there and be a punching bag? See, this is where they try to get you. If you're too nice, they'll take advantage of you. Then when you go ahead and become hardcore, yeah, you're too crass. You know what? You're too divisive. Trump, he started off divisive and stayed divisive through the whole time, but only with people who were playing games. If you were saying stupid stuff, then you was going to get it. It was that simple. You know, he wasn't a respecter person if you was male, female, short, tall, whatever. If you're talking crazy, you're going to get the business. And you're also going to get what he actually thinks. The truth. That's what won over the hearts of so many people when it came to Trump. It's like, man, he's straight telling the truth. He ain't stopping and thinking about it first. Like, how should I word this? I don't want the media to take my words out of context. So this is also why Vivek has become popular. You know, doesn't mean everybody trusts him, but he's become popular because of his willingness to just say, I'm going to say it exactly like this. And if y'all don't like the sweet, soft version, I'm going to give you the hard version. So now, instead of backing down off of Nikki Haley, like what they're trying to suppose, that all of a sudden you turn your attention to Nikki Haley and this and all of that stuff, what is he about to do? Give her the business again.
By debate number 3, you called Nikki Haley corrupt, accused Ron DeSantis of wearing high heels, and told ambassador...
Oh, boy. I didn't catch that the first time he said it. When he said, we got 2 of them on here with high heels, I didn't catch I was like, 2 of them? There's only 1 woman on stage. It wasn't until I saw Trump talking about Ron DeSanctimonious in those high boots and saw that video footage of him ice skating off that debate stage with those high heels on. Now I get it. I'm late. I got the joke late. About 3 weeks later, like, oh, yeah, that is funny. So he was talking about Ron and Nikki, but they wanted to focus on Nikki because, you know, she's a woman and, you know, she had on heels and stuff. So Vivek must be, of course, you know what, misogynistic and stuff.
Ambassador Haley, she should keep a closer eye on her daughter. Can you see how this has led some to conclude you are not, in fact, a unifier and to question your authenticity?
Well, here's the part where Vivek is supposed to go, I do apologize. Oh, thank you. Somebody said they just emailed that to me. Thank you. This is the part where Vivek is supposed to go, I'm sorry if I came across divisive. I apologize. I'm not a misogynist. I'm not a chauvinist. I support women. She's a strong, intelligent, brave woman. This is the part where he's supposed to do that. But instead, he does this.
Megan, I think there's a time and place for everything. We need somebody in the White House who absolutely is going to be a fighter when it counts. And I did say that there were some good people on that stage in that third debate. Doug Burgum was on that stage at that time. And I'll say that jokingly, Ron DeSantis is a good person, too.
Still in those
I want to go
boots.
back, though, to Nikki Haley's comment from earlier that she is somehow not responding to the will of these donors.
Uh-oh.
Nikki, you were bankrupt when you left the UN.
Oh, he's back on her back. She's like, get him off me. It's like this old man when I was a kid. I'm telling you, know how when you old, you don't really know how old an old, I mean, when you're young, rather, you don't know how really old an old person is. To me, he had to be like 100 and something. But I say that I think it's accurate because of his reaction to getting stung by bumblebees. He was so old he could barely get the bumblebees off. He had a bald head. And somehow these bumblebees zeroed in on that nugget and went to work, lighting him up. And that old dude was going, get him off. In slow motion. To get him off. And they wasn't having it. They was on him like, with that, like that stinger. Take that, old man. And he had them bees all over him. I was over there like, hey, I'm not coming over there. I'm sorry. But all he could do was say, get him off. That's what she's doing right now. Get him off. Because Vivek is stinging the heck out of her. So I'm surprised she didn't take off running. Here we go.
After you left the UN, you became a military contractor. You actually started joining service on the board of Boeing, whose back you scratched for a very long time, and then gave foreign multinational speeches like Hillary Clinton.
Oh, now that's the face of sourness. That's that I'm sucking on a lemon face right there. She got a big fat lemon. She got the whole lemon tree in her mouth right now. That's the cotton mouth. The dry mouth, like, man, I thought this dude was going to back up off me after I went on a tour of identity politics accusing him of being a misogynist. This is how you fight. You come right back and say, yeah, I said it. I said it and I'm going to do it again. You think I'm going to go up here talking about, I'm sorry I offended you. And you know what? You are interviewing for the toughest job on the planet. You better straighten that face up right now. Look like her face hurt. Whole face crooked. What is that? That's not a presidential look. Look like somebody just gave you a hard right. So let's see how she responds to this.
And now you're a multimillionaire. That math does not add up. It adds up to the fact that you are corrupt.
That dog
and
don't
when I
hunt.
said they were bought and paid for, I meant the Republican establishment, not the Democratic establishment.
Woo-wee! Now look at this. He is expressing some sentiments of all of us because we see the uniparty. We all are sitting back watching. Yeah, I criticize Democrats, but I lay it to rhinos and sorry Republicans just as well, because they're part of the problem as well. Sitting back, letting Donald Trump get trashed, getting attacked, getting prosecuted, letting Democrats get away with all types of corruption, won't impeach nobody. All of these things is a problem. Supporting endless wars. So he's turning his attention on everybody, just like Trump did. He's firing like, what, you want some too? You want some of this? You get some too.
Now you have Reid Hoffman, the person who's effectively George Soros Jr., funding lawsuits across this country against Donald Trump to keep him off the ballot, funding left-wing causes. We discovered this week that he is one of Nikki Haley's largest supporters.
What? So wait a minute. You telling me, now this hurt her right here. This is what's ending her career right now. He's exposing that she really is a neocon, that she really is a rhino. When you are accepting money from the enemy, you are sold out. Do you think this person's giving money to Nikki Haley just because he like what she talking about? He just supports women. He wants something in return. All of these folks right here that are running and taking money from all of these people who says, we hate Donald Trump. We don't care who wins. Because we can control the rest of y'all. The one we can't control is Trump. And the way we will control y'all is if we're donating to your raggedy butt. You think we giving you this money just so you can do whatever you want once you get in the office? No. And he's calling her out and she don't know what to do with it.
Larry Fink, the king of the woke industrial complex, the ESG movement, the CEO of BlackRock, the most powerful company in the world.
Ooh, now see that name right there? Ugh. Sends chills up all of our spines. We don't like BlackRock. We don't like the G7. We don't like the European Union, all of the mess that these globalists have put together to control us. We don't like it. So when I hear what you got, BlackRock's giving you money. Why George Soros? Why are you taking money from these people? Huh? Because these are the type of people who are like the FBI. See, the FBI is like, look, man, Long as we got some dirt on Republicans and Democrats, you know what? We don't really care who gets in the office. We can control both of y'all. Okay, we got enough on you. That's why Biden's not in trouble yet. But when Trump came along and they didn't have no dirt on him, they're like, oh, what do we do? We got to make up something. Come on, y'all, piece this together. We can't control him. So what happens is these big donors, they will donate to both of these, Democrat and Republican, long as we can control you at the end of the day. Because all this money has an attachment to it. And she's going to try to act like, no, they just doing it because they like me.
Now supporting Nikki Haley. And to say that doesn't affect her is false, because it's after that meeting later that day that she says that every American needs to be doxxed by having their ID,
Nikki,
their
get out of there.
ID, tied to what they say on the internet. So I think that this is...
Oh, she got that nervous smile. She got that. I know she wanted to be like, you shut up. You young whippersnapper, I hate you. I hate you. She probably wants to go straight up temper tantrum right now. But all she could do is sit there and have that stupid smile halfway on her face. And y'all, some of the people ain't gonna like the way Vivek called out all of her corruption and her evilness and stuff like that. They ain't gonna like it.
Far more corrupt than I even imagined when I entered politics. But I will say this. It is going to take a leader from the outside with fresh legs.
Trump.
From the next generation to unite this country. Not the broken politicians who are puppets of the puppet masters.
Oh, puppets of the puppet master. And she knows. She knows right now she's over there like this. But she's going to try to say, no, I ain't no puppet. I don't know what he's talking about.
But the actual people in this country. Thomas Jefferson was 33 when he wrote the Declaration of Independence.
He was young.
I think it's going to take somebody whose best days in life are still ahead to see a country whose best days are ahead of itself. And I think I can reach that next generation better than anybody else in this race.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Now I want to hear how Nick I is about to reply to this, okay? Because I'm sure she's not fluttered. So let's see.
Megan.
Megan. Could you give me some water?
We weren't bankrupt when I left the UN. We're people of service. My husband is in the military, and I served our country as UN ambassador and governor.
That's it. That's your opening. That's your opening swing right there. We weren't bankrupt. So just because you weren't like pinching pennies, we know you probably was making some money, like, you know, maybe $100,000-$200,000 a year. Okay. What he's talking about is compared to how much you're worth now. How did you get that rich? How did Joe from Scranton become a multimillionaire? How did Nancy Pelosi become a multimillionaire? How did dumb Mad Max become a multimillionaire? That's my question. So when he says broke compared to being rich, but she's going, we weren't broke, first of all, let me correct that.
It may be bankrupt to him, but it certainly wasn't bankrupt to us. Secondly, I did serve on the board of Boeing. I did a lot of work with Boeing when I was governor. They were a great partner to me. I served for 10 months. And then when they decided after COVID that they wanted to go for a corporate bailout, I've never supported corporate bailout, so I respectfully stepped back and got off the board. I love Boeing. They build good commercial airplanes.
But you made a bunch of cheese
for our
before.
Air Force. I am proud of them. They employ a lot of people in South Carolina, but that's why I left the Boeing board. There's nothing to what he's saying. And in terms of these donors that are supporting...
Nothing to what he's saying. The question still becomes, how'd you make all the money? When you say it's nothing to... The money is the something to what he's saying. That's the whole point. The money's the evidence. He's saying you became wealthy doing all of that. So it's nothing to what he's saying. That money showed up in my account somehow. I worked on a jackhammer and at night I had a second job bussing tables. That's how I made all that money. Unbelievable. There's nothing to it. Don't question me about how that money got there.
They're just jealous. They wish that they were supporting them, but I'm not going to sit there.
I cannot believe her excuse for getting money from folks in BlackRock is they're just jealous that they're supporting me and giving me money. The question is, why are you accepting their money? I don't want your money. I'm like Major Payne when she was like, you know what? Here's a book. I don't want the book. No, take the book. I said I don't want the book. You should be saying, I don't want the money, BlackRock, who's up there talking about people needing to eat bugs and global, warming and all of that mess. And we're going to be hacking people's brains and controlling folks and all of that stupid stuff. You should be going, I don't want no connection with you, man. But here she is talking about, yeah, they give me money. You just jealous. You want some of that BlackRock money too. Why do you think they're giving you money? Uh-oh. Here's the top 5. Oh, we're going to do a quick round, y'all. Some of the top 5 points, man. Some knockout blows before we get into the funky media who don't like what Vivek was saying. All them hurtful words and stuff he said that hurt only them. Here we go.
And I think that's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. Oh, this is a woman who will send your kids to die so she can buy a bigger house.
Oh! She hates that dude. I know when this is all over, she's going to be sitting in a dark, dimly lit room. Honey, Nikki, are you in there? Yes. Don't open the door. Are you still sulking over what Vivek did to you? Shut up. You're a dummy and a poopy head. She's going to be busted up for years over this because he let her have it. Good. Had the nerve to accept the job in Trump's cabinet and then throw him under the bus afterwards. I'm glad he's trashing you.
If you want somebody who's going to speak truth to power, then vote for somebody who's going to speak the truth to you. Why am I the only person on the stage, at least, who can say that January 6th now does look like it was an inside job?
I'll say it. See, these are things that he's saying that I'm going, absolutely. Yeah, see, these are things that I'm saying, let's not stand on ceremony and try to figure out how to say, well, it could. He's cutting straight through it. It looks like it was an inside job. I agree. What else?
That the government lied to us for 20 years.
I agree.
About Saudi Arabia's involvement in 9/11. That the Great Replacement theory is not some grand right-wing conspiracy theory.
Another one I agree.
Basic statement of the Democratic Party's platform.
Bam.
That the 2020 election was indeed stolen by big tech.
Bam.
That the 2016 election, the one that Trump won for sure, was also one that was stolen from him by the national security establishment.
Bam. Stop it.
Thank
you. Because you're telling too much truth. You ever heard somebody tell too much of the truth? That dude right there is dropping them all out there. And these are things that we get suppressed on the internet for saying. Because, see, these things are so straightforward and to the point, and also cut so deeply into all of their narratives and their diabolical schemes that they have to suppress us. So right about now, I guess he ran out of time. And they're, all right, thank you. That's enough. That's too much truth. So here we go.
Hopes that it was false. There's a reason why I'm the only person on the stage who can say these things. That's what it's going to take, not people who are licking his boots one time and now Monday morning quarterbacking and criticizing when it's convenient.
Oh, and that's why I do have to give Vivek respect. Because all of them at one point were licking those boots. These boots were made for licking. That's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna lick all over you. When Trump was at the top of his game, they all was, what else, Mr. Trump? Oh, Trump's the best. He's the best. And now what do? All threw him under the bus. So if nothing less, Vivek deserves some type of credit for not doing that. See, I'm not saying put him in the cabinet. I'm not saying make him vice president. I'm saying simply based off of what I've observed, he's the only one that didn't take the opportunity to stab Trump in the back. Not only that, watch how the media constantly tries to drive the conversation to stab Trump in the back. Now, as we watch how the media responds to this, I want you to think, if they were asking the same questions to any of the rest of them on the stage, would they take the opportunity to defer and say, I'm not going to, Trump didn't do that? Or would they say, well, actually, because I've seen several of them try to act as if Trump really was a part of the J6 thing. And I'm going, you're taking a cheap shot. You're letting the fake news bait you in to supporting a Democrat deep state talking point. All because you're trying to beat Trump. So you're going, oh, well, yeah, he needs to be held accountable for that. And Trump's rhetoric did. And I'm going, you know his rhetoric had nothing to do with that. You know it. But you're trying to go ahead and give the fake news a bone. So let's see. He's about to be done. Here we go. Healthcare. Here we go.
This is a very personal issue to our family. I wanted to take actually a minute to recognize my wife who's here today. Badass surgeon. She did a bunch of cases with cancer survivors earlier today, flew here to be tonight. We'll be back at 7 a.m. in Columbus, Ohio tomorrow, taking care of those patients in the OR. And on the front lines of people who have actually not swallowed for years.
Whoa.
And here's what's something that's awful that's happening in our healthcare system. They'll pay for anything like feeding tubes, doctors to be pill pushers.
I feel a real moment. I feel a truth bomb about to happen because I never thought about this. Listen to this.
But for the procedures that can actually make these patients better, we have a broken healthcare system that doesn't pay for it. My wife Apoorva, in many cases, does not get paid for those procedures. She does them anyway because it's the right thing to do. But that does not work system-wide.
Yeah.
So here's the answer. We don't have a healthcare system in this country. We have a sick care system.
Wow. Now, I bet you all the healthcare system people are out there going, shut up. Don't tell them that we ain't trying to really cure them. We trying to get them hooked on stuff so we can keep making money. Dang on it. Don't tell them that we designed cell phones to go out after about 2 years. Don't tell them that. All them updates. It's time for an update. No, I don't want an update. Nope, you're going to get an update. I don't want an update. I like the way my phone, you just updated on your own. Now, all of a sudden, my phone's glitching up. Oh, yeah, it's time for a new one. Oh, what? Your car's backfiring? Oh, man, yeah, it's time to get a new one. Yeah, things are set up to continue to sell products and make money off of it. And I'm thinking to myself, good point. Yeah, well, we're going to get you on some antibiotics forever. Get you on some high blood pressure pills forever. Forget eating and dieting, right? We're going to get you on some. And I'm saying, it does seem like they're just hooking people on stuff and plugging things into people to continue to make money instead of one and done. You know, this could have took care of it, but then I wouldn't have made enough money with these kids. Another one. Getting kids on you-know-whats forever. On drugs forever. Because you convince these kids that I'm something that I'm not. So instead of treating them the proper way, you set them up for a lifetime, commitment of drugs. There you go. Lifetime commitment of drugs. Somebody said we got a troll. All right, so he exposed the healthcare system too? Oh, he's in trouble.
We need to start having diverse insurance options in a competitive marketplace that cover actual health, preventative medicine, diet, exercise, lifestyle, and otherwise. And here's how we deliver that. End the antitrust exemptions for health insurance companies. That's where the competitive marketplace begins. That's crony capitalism, and that's the answer.
Okay, here we go. Here's another one. Number 3, foreign policies.
Foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom.
Oh, now look how he's getting around the accusation. He's not experienced. He's just wet behind the ears. He's snotty nose. How's he going to tell us? He don't know anything. It doesn't take experience when you have wisdom. All of the stuff that I've been watching going on in our government since I started observing politics and I was right about, it's not that I was right about it because I had experience. It was right about it because I have enough wisdom to say, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, that's not smart to do. Yeah, having an open border is not wise. Yeah, allowing China to do whatever they want is not wise. Spending money over there, letting them get away with bad trade deals, all of that right there is not wise. And that's why Trump was successful in his foreign policies, because he didn't go in based on how much experience I have. We've seen what experience have gotten us. Nothing. Yeah, experience got soldiers killed as Creepy Sleepy, who brags about, I got 20 years of foreign policy experience. Got 13 soldiers killed, and God knows however many else people in Afghanistan died because of that. But there you go. He had experience, y'all. So forget experience. Give me some common sense. Give me some wisdom, and I'll roll with you.
I want everybody at home to know that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to
Where's all that
with the
experience?
exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden,
Oh,
who still support
he's back on
this,
Nikki.
what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy.
She's so mad, her eyes blinked individually. Man, as soon as he brought her up, it's like one eye had a stroke. I'm like, what was that? Everybody else blinks like this. What was that? It was a delayed blink. But yeah, she's like, why won't this guy just leave me alone?
Policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people have, I mean, she has no idea what the hell the names of those provinces are that she wants to send out.
She's not ready for big time, man. She's not ready for the show. Boy, she is showing it all over her face. Oh God, this guy. You know what? I'm going to have him killed. I swear. Boy, I tell you, man, she can't even disguise it. Where's the poker face? How you going to sit across from Chi? Rolling your eyes and face look like it's hurting and having slight mini strokes. All of that mess. They will eat you for breakfast. So he is exposing her all day long. Her career's over. If I got nothing else out, 2 careers got ended last night, rather. So hers got ended, and we're about to show you the other one that got ended. Here we go.
Our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blanket.
Get out of there, Nikki.
She doesn't know the names of the provinces.
Did you happen to just catch a glance of the beach whale right here, beached? Look at him. Look at him. You see him over there beached on top of that podium? Surprised he ain't laid completely out. Shoes off. Everything. Pillow. It's ridiculous. Sit up. Dang on it. You ain't out there for that long. You beached up on top of that mug. Wheezing. Is it time for lunch yet?
$1 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces.
Oh, wait a minute. See, now, see, here we go. Now people are, see, this is the problem. Now, this is a perfect example. It is something about, like, a lot of people say things like, well, you know what, men and women should be able to equally fight in a war, and this and that, and this and that. And I'm going, no, I don't want women on the front line fighting. I wouldn't like to see that. See, even in a situation like this, where Vivek is telling the truth, there is something that is built into our society that when you feel like a woman is taking it to the chin, you have a tendency to say, let up off of her, leave her alone, And so even though he's telling the truth, a lot of people are going, oh, boo, because he seems like he's being a little too tough on a strong, independent woman. See, but this goes to show that, when it comes down to you stepping out and trying to stump with the big dogs, you got to get out there and stump with the big dogs. And it would be the same thing. If I'm in war and a woman is next to me, it would affect me. I would be conscious of her. I would feel like, oh man, I got to keep an eye just in case something happened to her, because I'm not going to react the same if all my buddies around me are getting shot. I'm going to keep fighting. But if I see a woman or a kid or something like that get hurt, I'm going to stop probably, and it's going to affect my strategy. Okay. So right now, Vivek is like, yo, I don't care if she's a woman. I'm going to let her have it. Giving it to her. She wanted to get on the front line with everybody talking about some clack, clack, bang that out. Bang, dang that out. But when the bullets start flying back at her, now she's going, they shooting. And now the people are talking about some, but y'all celebrated her on the front line at first. She's on the front line. Don't be on her. Don't be booing him. I want to see her perform when the bullets are flying. It's easy to perform when ain't nobody shooting back at you. But now she's up there like, thanks everybody. Unbelievable, man.
And there's a puppet masters right there. The donors. The donors right there that are playing like the puppet master.
Yeah, the donors. Number 2. Here we go. Climate agenda. Oh, now you know right now he about to get in trouble. How many of y'all feel the same way about what he's about to say?
Just to address a topic we didn't talk about tonight, but I think it's one of the most important topics that needs to be discussed. That is this climate change agenda that is shackling this country like a set of handcuffs. I said at the first debate, and I stand by it. The climate change agenda is a hoax.
Oh, snap. A hoax, he says. I bet you right now they're like, a pox on your house, Vivek. you can't say climate change is a hoax because we just heard Hillary Clinton come out the other day and said that we think, we're not sure, but we are sure that 60,000 women and pregnant people died from heat. I'm pretty sure. And we hear Joe Biden getting up almost every other day. The climate, the world's ending. And you know what? We got to stop fossil fuel. We hear people talking about that every day. So now you get up and not only do you not, kind of soften it up like, well, we do need to keep an eye on it. And, I mean, there are some signs to show. He straight came out and said, it's a hoax. And I'm dead on it. Now, guess who else does things like that? And they get sick when he does it. Trump. It's a hoax. Whenever he calls something a hoax that the media has propped up and they then said, oh, this is real. This is serious. Look at this. And then he comes out and he destroys it and belittles it by calling it a hoax. He don't tamper it down. He don't try to meet him halfway with the hoax. He don't try to say, well, it ain't a hoax, but it ain't that. He straight just comes out and says, it's a hoax. And they flip out every time. So I'm loving this because I was thinking the same thing. It is a hoax.
Because it has nothing to do with the climate. That's what we have to see. 98% reduction in the climate disaster-related deaths in the last century. 8 times as many people are going to die of cold temperatures this year than warm ones.
Not according to Hillary. She thinks. She don't know for real, though. She was like, I think it. I mean, pretty sure. But so let's continue.
Yet against that backdrop, there's an issue coming up in Iowa. It's core to Iowa farmers. I met Kim Duncan, Kathy Stockdale, and other farmers who are about to have a carbon capture pipeline built across their land using eminent domain to do it. That's unconstitutional and it's wrong. And if you thought COVID was bad, what's coming with this climate agenda is far worse.
Yes, it is. They're using that mess to gain more power. All right, because of climate change and the ecosystem, we're going to need to possess your land, and we're going to need to buy up all your farmland. And because of that, now you're going to have to eat crickets and grasshoppers and cockroaches. And because of that, you're going to have to now start driving a goat cart with the battery, not just a regular goat cart with gas. That's dangerous, too. Don't look at my limo. Don't be looking at my private jet that I flew in just to tell you that you have to drive a goat cart with a battery in it. There you go. I flew all the way over here to tell one person, you need a go kart with a battery in it. Left a carbon footprint from here to California for one person, you, buddy, who won't submit to our hoax. And I'm not submitting to the hoax. Let's continue though. What else?
We should not be bending the knee to this new religion. That is what it is. It is a substitute for a modern religion. We are flogging ourselves and losing our modern way of life, bowing to this new god of climate, and that will end on my watch.
Thank you, Ambassador Haley.
Here we go. Number 1. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, it's back to Nikki.
Authenticity. And I think that's deeper here. We were just talking about the trans issue. This is a symptom of a deeper cancer in American life. Identity politics.
Nikki ain't gonna be able to take this. She ain't gonna be. You know what? Now I'm starting to fill up. Vivek, she about to have a nervous breakdown. I'm telling you over there right now, she probably. Oh, this man. I should have never picked with him in the beginning because she was vicious in the beginning, calling him a young boy, don't know what you talking about, ain't got no experience, all of that mess. She was feeling froggy and jumping all over the place. Now she over there. Why you keep doing this to me? So let's finish hearing the knockout blow.
Religion that says your race, your gender, and your sexuality are your identity. It is anti-American. It is meritocratic. It's anti-meritocratic, and it is dividing this country to a breaking point. And I've spoken about this to the left. My books are all about this. I preach this to the left, but it's even worse when Republicans try to play the same game. We're talking about that trans issue. Nikki Haley's campaign launch video sounded like a woke Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light ad, talking about how she would kick.
There it is. There it is. The snaggerpuss face. There it is right there. The lemon face. The evil parrot in the cage face. The eyes rolling because I can't control them. They rolling because I can't control them. Got the eyes rolling because I can't control them. There you go. She can't control them rolling eyes, y'all. I think it was my rolling eyes. I think it was my rolling eyes. Them eyes right now is circling all over the place. Oh, Nikki. Boy, Nikki. Darling Nikki. Let's continue.
At the first debate, she said that only a woman can get this job done. That's what she said.
She did say that.
After the third debate, when I criticized Ronna McDaniel after 5 failed years of leadership of this party, and criticized Nikki for her
eyes is up in the sky.
military contractors, she said that I have a woman problem.
She
Nikki,
did say
I don't
that.
have a woman problem. You have a corruption problem.
Oh, good grief. I knew a girl named Nikki. I guess you could say she was a rhino queen. I met her on the debate stage. She's getting her butt beat right now. Boy, somebody should be in her ear like, Nikki, keep it together. Look straight ahead, Nikki, because Nikki is like this. What's up there? That's what I would be asking. Hey, Nikki, I'm over here. Why are you looking up at the ceiling? So she just had to close her eyes.
That's what people need to know. Nikki is corrupt. This is a woman who will send your kids to
Career
so she can buy a bigger
is
house.
over. She will send your kids to war to die so she can buy a bigger house. Boy, how does she recover from this? This is that moment where you get up and go and get right back under that rock and just chill, man. All of them should have did that. We shouldn't even be having debates. Trump already done won this thing. But all of them, for whatever reason, decided to come out and make themselves look foolish. And the only one that ain't looking foolish is Vivek. And that's the sad part about it. The rest of them just exposed like, you're trash. I mean, like, he don't have a background in politics. He ain't never worked with Trump. He ain't never asked Trump to help him. He ain't never kissed Trump's butt and then betrayed him. I mean, he's just a guy who's like, hey, I got money. I don't even have to run, but I'm going to do it. And you got Nikki and all the rest of them who at one point we lightweight respected them. And then they come out and they do stuff like this. And now she's getting exposed, full-blown exposed. Her career is over.
Problem, using identity politics more effectively than Kamala Harris.
Look at Ron DeSantis. He's like, I don't want nobody. I don't want the attention on me.
And it actually needs to end. There's our donor puppet masters.
And there comes the peanut gallery. Here comes the peanut gallery. Oh, it's too much on her. She's a strong, independent woman. Leave her alone, Vivek. No. Let her have it. Dang on it. Don't let up. I'm not that guy if I'm a coach of a little league team and we winning 75-0 in the second quarter. And they come over, hey, why don't you take it easy on the little... No! They got to learn a lesson. Hey, kids, run up the score. That's what I'm doing. We're going to win 250-0. All the kids crying, devastated for life. Mommy, will I ever be a success? No, son. Your team got beat by 200 points. And me and all my dang kids over there would be going, cry, baby, cry. Cry, baby, cry. We're here to toughen you up. So here she is out there. Getting beat up, and then the people come in. Oh, come on, boo. Not me. I'll be going, no. Are y'all booing her for her nasty attitude and her betrayal of Trump? But we ain't finished with one other person on that stage, because I told y'all two careers got ended that night. So Nikki's done. And for a bonus ending of a career, this one comes from Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly secretly and lightweight ruined Orson Welles' career. She destroyed Jabba the Hutt right on stage, passively. Listen to this.
The puppet masters put up their puppet, and I reject the use of identity politics in this party. It has been a cancer coming from the left, and I'm sick and tired of the double standards the people of this country are too. Having 2 X chromosomes does not immunize against it.
Yeah. Now, wait a minute. Here we go. Now, this is all going to be, this right here is going to be done in the form of a question. Okay. All right. So Megyn Kelly is about to pull out the machete and she's going to stick it in that whale's belly and harpoon the heck out of him. But she's going to do it by asking a question, making a statement. Here we go. Let's see.
And the smug, condescending...
Wait a minute. Hold up. How do we get... Where's my bonus? Did I delete it? No, I couldn't have. Dang on it. Wait, where's it at? Where's it at? Where's that bonus? Here it is. Now I'm going to have to go back, though, for the media. Listen to this question. Here we go. The bonus clip.
Even said that you got into this race just to stop President Trump.
Now, he might really be sucking on a lemon. For all we know. Look like he's over there sucking on something. So here we go.
His approval rating with Republicans is currently at 81%.
Oh.
Yours is at 25%.
See that? That right there is called passive aggressive. It's me destroying you by simply listing the facts. She starts off by saying, it's been mentioned that you're just in this race to ruin and be the spoiler, which is true. Then she says, and Trump's approval rating is 85 and yours is what, 35?
Your best state is New Hampshire, and even there, 2/3 of GOP voters say they would be angry and disappointed if you won.
Oh! All she's doing is just going ahead and reading facts while destroying your whole career. What are you doing up there, Orson? What are you doing? So let's continue.
Respectfully, Governor, you have not stopped Mr. Trump, and voters may want...
And then she belittled him by saying, respectively, Governor, you haven't stopped Trump, even though we all know that was your goal and objective. Whole goal and objective. And look, he's going to go out bad by still doing it.
Wonder how you could possibly become the nominee of a party that does not appear to like you very much.
Oh! Does not appear. So what she's really said is, we don't like you, Chris Crispy. And she doesn't like him either. Because if she liked him, she wouldn't have worded the statement like that. Those statements are really how she feels about Chris Crispy. Whether he knows it or not, I know it. Because we all know a little personal was injected in those statements. So what she read to him is his dang on obituary. That's what she just did. Read his obituary.
Well, look, Megyn, it's often very difficult to be the only person on the stage who's...
That weighs over 7,000 pounds? Is that it? Huh? The only person on the stage that can't stand up straight? Gotta be sitting there leaning to the left? Huh? Is that what you're about to say? Big boy.
Telling the truth. And the only person who is taking on what needs to be taken on. I look at my watch now. We're 17 minutes into this debate. And except for your little speech in the beginning, we've had these three acting as if the race is between the four of us. The fifth guy, who doesn't have the guts to show up and stand here.
There we go. The spoiler. The fifth guy who don't have the guts. Do you really think Trump is running from Chris Crispy? Huh? Why would Trump... See, this is where it comes down to. He's the spoiler. Trump knows he's the spoiler. Why would you come there just to get in an unnecessary debate? The champ picks and chooses when he fights and who he fights. Chris Crispy, you're not the champ. You're no Daisy. You can't sit back, Trump, you better come out here and meet me. Tink, tink, tink. Trump, come out and play. He's the champ. So he's not going to come and meet you. So you shut your big mouth and go ahead and try to save face by still doing what you set out to do in the first place, which is spoil it.
He's the one who, as you just put it, is way ahead in the polls.
There you go. End of his career. Megyn Kelly ruined his career with a passive-aggressive move. Now, let me go back because I thought I had that clip right after. So now here's the media reaction. Then we're going to get out of here, y'all, because this is fascinating. And like I said in the beginning, however you feel about Vivek, one thing that makes me say, maybe there's a little something to him is this reaction right here. Y'all ready for this? Over the top.
And the smug, condescending way that he just spews this poison out is very, very dangerous because he won't stop Trump, but he's going to outlive Trump by about 50 years. And you're watching the rise of an American demagogue that is a very, very despicable person.
Oh, now notice what they're doing. They are busting out the big terms. They're not trying to say, well, you know, he's a little controversial. That man said a very, very evil person, and he's a demagogue, and he's going to outlive Trump for 50 years. They don't want anybody who even sounds like Trump when it comes down to policies. See, that's what they really are hating. Vivek came out, and the things that he was saying sound like how Trump would say it. Not saying that he's trying to be a mini Trump, But what they don't like is he's calling out all of this crap that our government has been doing, that the Democrats have been doing, that Republicans have been doing, and that all of us recognize and see. And yet they want to convince us that what we're seeing is not accurate. And to have somebody come out and accurately identify and label all of the things that Vivek did is a danger to their power and their narrative. So what do? They have to Trumpify him. They got to throw him in the category of a danger like Trump. Now, if Vivek actually believes what he's saying and he lives up to it, he will fare well. Okay, long as he don't sell out down the road or whatever. But the stuff that he was saying, that's what we respect. If a politician comes out and says, look, man, these people are crooked. Look what they're doing. And I say, there absolutely are. I respect that guy. He called that mess out. So now you got to send out this big soft core dude right here. Big for nothing. Watch what he says next.
And I was shaking listening to him talk, because a lot of people don't know.
Van Jones is a big bag of softness. I was literally shaking. Are you kidding me? This is the same dude who was crying. I busted up because America's a better place right now. With that lisp, America's a better place right now. Where my kids can grow up and get him out of here. Okay? All right? I smell nothing but softness in the air. So here he is. He was shaking, y'all. So dramatic. Man, I'm telling you, I would have a field day around this guy, scaring him all over the place. Yeah, as soon as he opened the door, boom. I was shaking. Stop doing that, Kevin. You're scaring me. Yeah, because you're a scary cat. If you were shaking over what Vivek said, unbelievable.
That is one step away from Nazi propaganda coming out of his
mouth. Oh, God. There it is, man. There it is. Vivek right now has reached Nazi status. That's one step away from being Nazi status. And just like I'm one step away from sounding like Sylvester the Cat with my lisp, sucker and succotash. So now, here comes another assassin, y'all. They know Vivek came out there and let everybody have it and told the truth. So now they got to slide out an assassin with no brains. An assassin with a hit list. They gave her all her talking points, and she's going to try to stick to him and not deviate while Vivek rips her to pieces and exposes her. So here we go, y'all.
Let's just take two of those. Let's start with January 6th.
Sure.
There is no evidence that it is an inside job. It was a fringe conspiracy theory that the Trump-appointed FBI director, Christopher...
Now, she's out there trying to protect one of their precious narratives. This their number one narrative that they must protect. The J6 narrative. One, do you understand how bad it would be if it gets found out? Not just with us knowing that something went on, but if it becomes so obvious that the Democrat Party and some others in our government put that thing together. Do you understand what that would do to them? I mean, it would be horrible. And to the news who backed it. So here she is trying to protect. That's the first thing she's doing. Coming out, trying to protect that. Let us start off with the J6 narrative. You said that it was an inside job. First off, there's no evidence. Now, isn't it crazy how whenever they're protecting a narrative that they push, they start off by saying there's no evidence. No evidence. Because they don't even go and look. They never go and look for any evidence. My question to her is, have you looked? Have you even questioned the narrative? So you just took the FBI's word. You just took the Nancy Pelosi's word. You didn't even try to follow. Isn't it funny how certain channels will dig and try to get to the bottom of it? But these folks aren't even curious. They are not, even when stuff fall out there, like all of this footage that recently have been released, they don't even comb through it. I don't even want to look at it. Isn't it odd that when that laptop fell out and Giuliani and all of them said, come look at it. You can come and look at it yourself. No, we don't even want to look at it. We will not contribute to Russian disinformation. We don't even want to see it. They don't want the evidence. So now here she is starting off trying to convince the audience that what Vivek said is no proof because there's no evidence, says us.
Beret has said explicitly over and over is...
And then you see her try to give credibility to it. Director Ray, appointed by Donald Trump. So A lot of people was appointed by him that we found out were rhinos. Okay. But there she is. No evidence.
It's just not true.
So it's just not true. Says who? It's not true. Says who? You. What are you talking about? It ain't true. Says who? You. So here she is. It's just not true. Now, why is it that Kev from Kevin's Corner have found a plethora of evidence since this crap started? I'm not CNN. I don't have a staff. I don't have all the fancy technology and resources and stuff that they have. I'm a dude in my crib with my laptop and common sense. And I done found so much evidence because I want to get to the bottom of it. But they don't want to. They don't want to. So now, Vivek got to go ahead and tell her, what are you talking about? No evidence. I guess it's just like Joe Biden. There's no evidence. No evidence that Joe Biden did anything wrong except for phone calls, text messages, and whistleblowers and all that stuff that we don't even want to talk to or address.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to address it. I was an anti-woke crusader leaving the business world, and if you had asked me 3 years ago, is there some chance January 6th is an inside job? I would have said that was crazy talk. I would say looking at the facts of the video footage...
And you know what hurts, y'all? Is our government has been revealed to be so corrupt and deceptive these last 8 years. So many people's eyes have been opened. You know, I mean, years ago, after 9/11, you know, if somebody said, man, you know what, man, we might have had something to do with that. I'd have been like, man, what the heck? Dude, this is America, man. Now I got to question everything. See, this is the problem, man, when this type of corruption and deception comes out. When you find out that you cannot trust the fake news. This is how they've been getting by all of these years. Because for decades, they started off creating the belief that the news are always working on behalf of the people, which lowers your suspicion. It makes you not question them, and you look at them as a credible source because you've been lulled to sleep over decades and decades of the news. And oftentimes it was innocuous reporting, and you know, oh yeah, our explosion took place. That's what they're reporting on. So now, once they gain the public's trust, now they can drop out the propaganda and use it as a tool of manipulation based on years and years of conditioning people to say, why would the news lie? Then when we find out the news is a part of the deep state and a part of propaganda, and our government been lying to us and our politicians been deceiving us and all of this stuff we've been getting our butts in all over the place, we now got a question. We're all messed up. I mean, if we don't clear this up, our country is in trouble. Because right now, the people who see what they're doing, we can't unsee it. So it either has to get cleaned up or else we are headed for trouble. Because I'm always going to be like, if they never clean that up, if we didn't get rid of the FBI, I think they're still corrupt. If the CIA is still running around right now, I think they're still corrupt. They deceived us once, twice, 3, 4 times. Why should I trust them now? See, well, they got away with one election they stole and we didn't clean up the election. Yeah, they're going to cheat again. We will constantly be in a state of we're not living in a republic anymore. So they done messed everything up. And here she is trying to hang on to that. And the freaking internet done jacked them all up. Because it unleashed people like me that YouTube don't like. Here we go.
That have come out. Dana, it is shocking that you still haven't gotten a clear answer of how many federal agents were in the field then.
Now look at that evidence. And she's not even curious. She's not even going to stop to say, yeah, that's a good question. Watch what she does.
Look at now the video footage of actually throwing explosives and rubber bullets into what was a peaceful crowd, then releasing to the public what came in response to that. But now look at the video footage that was released. And I'm glad we're talking about it because viewers deserve to look at that footage.
Yeah, but you would never see it on CNN or MSNBC because they spent the last 2.5 years. J6, J6, you know what, Donald Trump, J6, Donald Trump, J6, you know what, insurrection. They spent the last 2 years pushing that mess. So do you think that she's going to air all of that J6 footage that they swarping out? It's dangerous to even show this stuff because it will reveal that it was no insurrection. It was a tour. But here she is now thinking about how she can get away and around what he just said. Yeah, he's presenting evidence, Dana. Shouldn't you be curious?
Capitol Police literally letting people in who were then now prosecuted. Some of them have gone on to commit suicide because of what the government's doing.
Listen to
That's
all
a
this
case of
evidence.
entrapment. And I think the government has not been transparent about this.
Now watch this. You think she's paying attention to what that man's saying? She's sitting there thinking her next attack. She's like, all right, what's my next weapon that I can pull out right here? Because he's killing me here. He's actually identifying evidence. The reasonable doubt. What? So you telling me they don't know how many folks that was in the Capitol crowd every time they come up to the Capitol and they ask them how many sources, human sources were in the crowd? We don't know the total amount. We can't answer that. We can't discuss where humans are. You don't find that suspicious, Dana? Huh? Isn't that a little odd that they would even have human sources in there and then deny that they know how many there were? They can't even tell you if they were inside the Capitol or not. You don't find that to be suspicious? You're not curious enough to say, well, let me see if there's evidence. Nope. Here instead, what does she do? Let me go to the next thing.
Which is why I then brought up another case where the government, now 20 years later, with declassified documents, tells us that they lied to us at the time. And so I do think
So now what is he doing? He's showing a pattern. The government has been lying to us. They did it back then. Why do you just trust them now? You're just going to start. Well, there's no evidence. You're not even curious. And not to mention, your network has been lying. So why should we trust you? Your network also said that laptop was Russian disinformation. Your network said Donald Trump was a Russian agent. Your network said Donald Trump is making it up that his tower was tapped and his phone lines were. Y'all were doing that. But here you are talking about there's no evidence.
we have a government that's
people.
consistently lied to its people.
But an inside job suggests.
Now listen to this. Y'all ready for a second of dumbness? She's desperate because he just dropped this out. So here she is. But there was 800 people. So what? So what? The man just said entrapment. The man just said 800. What? This is the lack of curiosity, or should I say corruption. So if there was 800 people, why was it 800 people? Based on that footage that you, for whatever reason, obviously didn't see, there's no reason that 800 people should be thrown in jail for that. Why are they still tracking down people still? Why aren't there 800 Antifians in jail or Black Lives Matterers in jail? These are things that should make her say, yeah, that's a good point. But no, not her. She's just saying 800 people. Could it be that it's 800 people for shock value, for intimidation? Could it be it's 800 people that y'all entrapped? 800 people that y'all done boosted up so y'all could make it appear that this was the greatest attack on the homeland. And look, it was 800 people. Look at it. Just like y'all come out and say, look at that. The white nationalism is the greatest threat to the FBI said that they were. No evidence. So they stack and pad this stuff up so they can get on TV and say, well, it's obviously bad because it was 800 people. Does that mean there was 800 people that were actually guilty, or were they victims of an abusive government? Just like Donald Trump has 81 charges and stuff. Are they legitimate? 4 indictments. Were they all made up indictments to make it seem like he's corrupt? See, you think we're dumb, Dana, but we're not. Let's continue.
That everybody was who attacked the Capitol was part of that.
Now she's going to try to play dumb. So wait, what you're saying then is that you're saying that everyone who attacked the Capitol was a part of no? Do you think that's what he was saying? Okay, how would you coordinate that? But that's equally as dumb as you trying to say that all these people did it because Donald Trump told them to, inspired them. See, this is the stuff that kills me. I mean, when did Trump talk to all these people? How did they all get in? How did they all know to get in on this? What was his method of communicating? Where's the evidence that he spoke with them? Well, I'll tell you what the evidence is that you won't talk about when he said, walk over and let your voices peacefully be heard. There it is. That's when he said it. But watch what she said Trump did.
I didn't say that, but I was saying that there's entrapment going on. There's entrapment going on.
What's
This
entrapment?
looks like a case of entrapment. And if you look at even over the last day,
What do you mean by that?
entrapment means that the police goaded people to do something otherwise than they otherwise wouldn't have done. And then they arrest them for actually doing it.
Bam! Vivek's one step ahead of her big nose. There you go. Entrapment. What you mean by entrapment? Kind of like Wretched Witchmore. Hey guys, you want to go kidnap the governor? Heck no, that's crazy. Come on. No. What are you talking about, man? We're not here to kidnap. Come on. It'll be great. Hey, look, you want to sleep with this lady and take some drugs and think about it? Maybe tomorrow you'll feel like kidnapping. There you go. Entrapment. Huh? How about this? The guys with the bugs in the ears. Get in there. Hey, dude, stop pushing me. You're pushing us in. Entrapment. How about tomorrow? I'll say it. I'll say it. I might go to different. How about that? How about push them up? How about cops letting them in? And then somehow all of them being, I guess, charged. Huh.
And you don't think it was actually the former president who was...
There we go. And this is how you know that he's on their naughty list. One, tying to Trump because he's not attacking Trump. There you go. This man right now is not attacking Trump. So we're going to attack Trump vicariously through him. So now instead of addressing all of the evidence that Vivek just said, all of these strange anomalies that the video footage is showing, what does she do? You don't think, so you're going to overlook all of the evidence in front of your face and jump to the furthest possible reason why it started. You don't think that Donald Trump, because right now in their ear, they're like, tie Trump in, tie Trump in. Yeah, at the end of the day, Trump's responsible for the J6 riots, okay? The insurrection. Make sure you say that. So now here she is. You don't think she's hoping that he said, yeah, actually Trump's rhetoric caused it, but he didn't.
Well, I think that was the media narrative. Now look at...
He said that's the media's narrative. Bing! That's right. That earpiece should have shot out of her ear with that one. You don't think that Donald Trump caused that? That's the media's narrative. That's your goal and objective, and the Democrats and the deep state, is to say Trump started and encouraged and inspired the J6 narrative, and he won't give it to her. And she's furious, so she's going to keep trying.
You think about this, right? You guys said this for a long time about the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping. Suddenly gone silent after it comes out of trial that absolutely that was a case of entrapment, which is why 2 of those people were acquitted. So I'm saying this as somebody who, on the other side of this, as a biotech CEO, somebody who was even anti-woke, but if I was looking at this, I would have said a lot of this is crazy talk. But if you actually get into the details, I think it is startling how much the government has systematically lied. And I think it's both parties.
Here she is. You don't think, Dana. You just do what they tell you to do. So here she is. Forget what you're saying, Vivek, even though all that makes sense and all of that, because what I think is back to Trump.
Over the course of the last 25 years,
but on the January
left used to be better pointed being skeptical of the government.
What are they telling her to say? Don't forget to keep repeating that the January 6th attack was the most egregious, dangerous attack on the homeland and our democracy. Same thing the Democrats say. Because when you say these things, then apparently they are true just because you're saying it. It was the most dangerous.
Right.
Which is the most aggressive, offensive attack on the U.S. Capitol and on democracy itself that we have seen in our lifetime and in many, many lifetimes. To say without...
Wow. And all I can think of is hearing music in my ear. Do, 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 as they walk peacefully through there. Just show the video. Why don't you do that, David? Show us the most egregious, dangerous attack on the homeland ever by showing all of those people walking around that Capitol. You can go ahead and put it to bed, CNN, by showing the footage. There you go. Let people decide as they see cops putting their arms around people, giving directions, fist bumping people. Let the people decide. Hey, yeah, that looks like the most egregious, dangerous attack on a homeland that Or would you go, what am I watching here? Oh, these are just visitors at the Capitol, hanging out with the cops. That's what that is. Oh, what? This is the insurrection. This was the most. That's why they won't show it. So you got to tell people instead of show people. So here she are. I'm going to keep saying it for the idiots who aren't going to go and look at that video footage and say, that doesn't look like the most dangerous attack on the homeland.
Evidence that it was an insurrection.
He just gave it to you.
I think that what we're seeing now is the video footage that's come out. I was in a different place before a lot of that evidence came out, but you have to respond to the evidence. What is your response? What is anybody else in CNN's response to the video footage that was released of Capitol Police literally just peacefully allowing people into the Capitol?
What we know
or
is
shooting
that
into peaceful crowds?
Look at her. Look, she just blown right past all of that. What we know is that they keep telling me to say it was dangerous and it was 800 people arrested. That's what, because I cannot combat what you're saying, Vivek. Yeah, see, these are things that reveals just how fake they are. She's a low-level hit woman. She's not able to think on her own. She's programmed. All she is out there just keeps saying it over and over again. Hopefully somebody will believe it. But that is 800 people.
Have been convicted of crimes.
But the reality is many of...
So what? If you got a tyrannical government, you can convict anybody. That's the point. That's why we're all concerned. That's why y'all are sitting back going, we got to stop Trump because he's a dictator? Because what we're doing is we are punishing and jailing people and convicting people based on political motivation. So of course you can get 800 convictions when you have the power to abuse people's rights. And that's the problem. So now you're going to go ahead and convince us just because it was 800 people.
Many of them were convicted before that information was released.
And do you think that former President Trump has anything to
do
do
with it? Here we
with
go. There it is. Recycle. Do you think that President Trump has, it was 800 people and then it was the most dangerous attack on the homeland, but with evidence? As he's given her evidence after evidence after evidence. And what does she do? Run right back. Did you think Trump was that one day who did it? And that's...
Because you're bringing up a really good point, and your audience and everybody deserves to know the truth about this. Normally, there's a rule in constitutional law. It's called the Brady Rule. You have to turn over exculpatory evidence to the other side. In this case, it wasn't turned over because the DOJ said Congress was sitting on it.
Okay, I got to get out of there because you're killing me. They're telling me right now, you can't win this one. You can't win this one, Dana. Go ahead and just try something else. See what sticks. So, yeah. Why didn't they show all that footage and stuff? Because maybe it wouldn't look like the most dangerous attack on the homeland. And as she sits there and tries to tie Trump into it, you don't think Trump has something to do with this? How? That one question would have destroyed her. How? Well, he did a rally. Okay. Is that illegal? What did he say at the rally? He said, go over to the Capitol. And... then he said, go over to the Capitol, hurry up. What did he say, Dana? I would make her say it. That's what I would do. I would treat her like a kid. And he said that. No. What did he say, Dana? I would make her say it.
Released it. That's why I said I would pardon many of those peaceful protesters because
I want to go to something else.
I want to go to something else because I'm getting killed.
It's not a right issue. I think this is a civil libertarian issue.
I want to go to something else that you said that I think is really important to explore, and that is the great replacement theory.
Another thing they got to protect. Now they got to protect. So the January 6th, they got to protect that. And they got to protect their precious illegal immigrants coming into the country. And Vivek called it out and exposed what they're really up to. Okay? They're up to replacing the citizenship for folks that will vote for them.
Yeah.
That, I'm sure you know, is a theory that has been adopted by white supremacists who believe that people of color, Jews, are trying to overtake the white people in America. It has been used in mass murders from not even just America, worldwide.
You guys in New Zealand, that mean a lot of different things, but I will be...
Yes, to many people it means a lot of different things, Dana. What do you think I mean when I say it? You think I mean that? Just like vermin can mean a lot of different things. What do you think Trump meant when he said it? Let's go ahead and lock these people up and start gassing them and stuff like that. You think that's what he was meaning? So now, here she is, trying to protect a narrative, along with accusing him of being what? Xenophobic, inspiring hate, increasing the level of potential violence. See, they bubble wrap their narratives by demonizing anybody who questions it and questioning their motive.
Be very specific about what I meant because I posted this yesterday, even before this debate. I've been very precise, and I'd encourage people to look at 10 hard truths I posted yesterday, including that video footage.
Light years ahead of her.
Discussion. People should view it. Look at the video I posted yesterday of Biden and Mayorkas 10 years ago, expressly discussing, and these are Biden's words, not mine, about non-white populations and white populations in the U.S. through immigration, and that being not a bad thing. His words, not mine.
Not only our Muslim communities, but African communities, Asian communities, Hispanic communities, and the wave still continues. It's not going to stop, nor should we want it to stop. As a matter of fact, It's one of the things I think we can be most proud of.
What?
So,
Proud of that?
So there's a second thing in that black box.
Is what?
An unrelenting stream of immigration.
Unrelenting.
Non-stop.
Non-stop. Like what's happening right now. That Dana is trying to overlook. Like we're all making this up. It's just a fringe theory. The man said it. Non-stop stream of illegal immigration, he's calling it. And look who's sitting next to him.
Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority in the United States of America.
Now, why is that important? See, this is what burns me up. Why is that important? The reason he's using race as, a factor is so he can disguise what they're really trying to do. It's not about race. It's about creating a whole nother voter base, an illegal voter base, compliant, quiet, passive voters that will support the Democrat Party. But you can't differentiate them based on we're bringing a lot of illegals in. So what do? You create another reason that would make people sensitive and scared to call it out by saying race. We're going to colorify America. We're sick of America being too white. Our history is so tainted with white nationalism and racism. It would be good to bring over a lot of illegal immigrants to replace, a lot of people of color. Because if you call it out, and say, why are these illegals coming over here replacing American citizens? Because that's what he should be focused on. American citizens versus non-American citizens. But see, that doesn't fly. So now it got to be people of color. Because when you say, why are you bringing all these illegal immigrants over? You don't like people of color? You want America to stay all white? That is how they bubble wrap the narrative. So they paint it and set it up so when you question it, they could label you as some type of xenophobe or homophobe or whatever.
Absolute minority.
Look at that.
Fewer than 50% of the people in America from then and on will be white European stock. That's not a bad thing. That's a source of our strength.
It's a source of our strength. No, it's a source of the Democrats' strength if you can replace American voters with illegal voters. But yet call it out where they're really just pepperifying the white salt. We just wanted to mixed up the pepper. That's we want salt and pepper. See, so what is he doing? He's talking about we're just, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Now, what kills me about the way they're doing this is they're actually doing it right now. Bringing them all in. And Dana's acting like, no, you guys are making this stuff up.
We should be able to have this conversation in the open without using fringe theories.
But when you use the term rate replacement theory, that is
exactly what that refers to.
But you understand that term is something that evokes anti-Semitism.
Because you want it to. Y'all strategically set it up and tried to label it and connect it to anti-Semitism, white supremacy, because then this way people are scared to talk about it. Now, I hate to call them out. I'm black, and if you ask me about it, I'd be like, yeah, replacement theory. That's exactly what y'all do. What am I inspiring anti-Semitism? Am I inspiring white supremacy? I'm calling it for what it is. You guys want people to think about that every time they hear it. What you don't want them to think about is all of those illegals running across this border, placed in our cities, using tax dollars and all that stuff. You don't want them to think about that. So we got to use some that inspires our racism and anti-Semitism and stuff like that. As Joe Biden sits up there talking about, we're not going to be a white nation again. See, focus on race, focus on color instead of Americans. Who cares if we're all white, if we're mixed, if we're whatever? We want to grow as a country, American citizens, or people who come here legally. We don't want people who cut the line, and y'all help them cut the line so that you can increase a voter base and create cheap labor and then bubble wrap it by saying, if you recognize this, what you are is you're increasing the anti-Semitism and
it evokes piece of this. I'm against anti-Semitism and I've spoken accordingly.
But people who have
we also have to admit the truth of what's happening, Dana. But this is coming through Biden's own words.
This is being used.
Look at her. But it's coming through Biden's real own words, Dana. You hear what he's saying? No, you don't. Because right now you up there trying to do a hit piece. But the word. You know what the word said? I don't want to talk about the substance. I don't want to talk about the border being blew out. I don't want to talk about how it's diluting the vote or how y'all trying to get these folks. I don't want to talk about that mess. I want to talk about the word.
Years ago.
For killings in Buffalo, for a killing in Poway, California.
There you go. A word that inspired all of that. There you go. It's responsible for killing in Buffalo and a killing. And then you know who's probably responsible for most of that? Is when folks see these people doing what they're doing. Lying to us saying they're coming here for a better life. I mean, they're coming here for whatever. They're in the asylum. And everybody's going, these folks are abusing our kindness, our system. These folks are breaking our laws. These folks are demonizing me because I recognize it. They're calling me a white nationalist every day. They're calling me a white supremacist because I don't like what they're doing. That's the stuff that'll radicalize somebody and make them say, I'm about to lose my mind. These people up here, just every time I say, why are y'all doing this? Shut your mouth, you white nationalist.
Saying the same things that Biden said 10 years ago.
Do you understand how dangerous it is?
It's dangerous.
It's not even just a conspiracy theory. It's dangerous because...
I disagree.
There you go. So you can't recognize it. You can't talk about it. Let us have our way. Let us continue abusing the system until we get done with it. Okay? Because if you bring it up, then you are dangerous and you're endangering everybody. So now, even though you see it getting worse, you see it happening, don't say nothing about it because it's dangerous. You're responsible if somebody goes off the rails. You're responsible for using that word or recognizing this. That's what they think. They think we're stupid, man. And she's up here doing her job.
What's dangerous is the suppression of open dialogue. Well, look, I think that we need to have more open dialogue in this country. And when you tell people they can't speak,
discrimination. Everything I can pull out of my butt.
Object, that's when they tear things down.
It's the term. Great replacement.
It's the term. It's not the act. I don't want to talk about the act. I don't want to talk about Biden just saying, yeah, let's go ahead and bring as many as we can. I don't want to talk about Biden saying, surge the border. I don't want to talk about that. Well, it's the term.
Don't want to see violence in this country.
I would blow her mind by switching up the term. Okay, I won't use replacement theory. How about bringing a lot of illegal immigrants in to replace American voters with illegal voters? That's racist too. See, it'll blow her mind.
I think the way we're going to get there is close the gap between what people will say in private and what they will say in public. Right now, there's a gap between those two things that is as big as I've seen in my lifetime. I think that is dangerous. I think that is a good way to get January 6th being a preview of what's to come in this country, unless we're able to have open conversation
and it's
without
not
people being labeled
hear great replacement
as a racist
theory,
conspiracy theorist.
It's a dog whistle.
No, it's not. See, isn't it funny how dogs only hear this whistle? Just like when Trump said, go over and let your voices peacefully be heard, they heard, go over there, kill Mike Pence, hang Mike Pence, and kill Nancy Pelosi. And I'm saying, what? How'd y'all hear that? See, y'all drop this mess into the minds of people. Nobody's thinking about that. But y'all are saying it's a dog whistle because you have to demonize anybody who questions it because they recognize what you guys are up to. So now it's a dog whistle. It's inspiring violence and
xenophobe or whatever.
Because of what it means to people who are
crystal clear. I'm the kid of immigrants.
Because of what we're telling everybody it means. That's what it is. It's because of what we're telling everybody it means.
Legal immigrants who came to this country. But when the Democratic Party and Biden, the leader of the Democratic Party now, as recently as 10 years ago with Mayorkas sitting at his side, expressly talking about non-white populations exceeding white populations, that being a good thing, and immigration policies they've advanced to achieve that result, remain in Mexico, which they're not enforcing. Let's have that debate rather than saying this is a dog whistle, this is going to cause violence. What I'm worried about is that we are going to have, I would say I want to be careful in the way I speak about this because I don't want to get to a place about violence. We're skating on thin ice as a country right now. But as a leader, it is important to give people the permission to say in public what they'll otherwise say in private. A lot of it grounded in truth, to be able to have that debate without labeling somebody as a xenophobe or a racist or anything else.
Let's just say, and I'm not going to use the term anymore because
it's too dangerous.
It is a dog whistle for people out there who are looking for reasons to go after people of color and Jews. But
CNN, the most fakest news in town. Talk about that. I won't even use the word anymore because it is a dog whistle and that it's going to inspire.
Let's just assume that was something that was happening. Is that so wrong? What's wrong with people?
First of all, let's just pause right there.
Being a majority in this
Let me just
country.
pause right there. This is a legitimate discussion for us to have, but we can't have it both ways. To say this is something that we're actually advocating for, it's an express policy, and we acknowledge that it's part of an express policy objective. Then let's actually get to the debate about whether this is good or not.
We
for the
can't
country,
do that,
right?
And see, that's the problem. They can't debate whether something is good or bad for the country because guess what, y'all? Their policies are bad for the country. So what do they have to do? They have to wrap up their policies in identity politics. They have to bubble wrap their policies by demonizing you if you recognize how bad and dangerous they are for our country, how horrible they are. So instead of you saying, hey, man, why are y'all letting all these people come? What are you? You're a replacement theorist? That's what you are. You know what? That's drumming up sentiments of anti-Semitism. Vivek ripped her tail. He gave her all kind of evidence, and you can see how the media operates and functions. She acted like everything he said was null and void. Not evidence. I'm not even curious. I'm not even going to pause and say, hey, wow, that's a good point. Or, yeah, you got a point. Nothing. Because her goal is not to do that. It was to come out there like a robot that she was and just keep repeating the same thing. She don't want to address any of the evidence that he laid out, any of the substance. I ain't here to do that, man. You think I'm here to talk about that stuff, man? I don't even know nothing about that stuff. They told me stick to my script. But Donald Trump, and then it was the worst attack on the homeland. And that's all she did. And then you got crying Van Jones out there boo-hooing. So I was shaking. I was thinking in my bones. All overreacting dramatics, straight up propaganda in an effort to assassinate Vivek's character because what he's saying is true. There you have it. It's not what maybe he's going to do in the future. I don't know how he's going to pan out. All I do know is everything he said was true. And that's one thing that the fake news hates. Is the truth. And they will attack it like they did. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. I done went over my time. I'm supposed to be watching the Steelers game right now. Dang on it. Boy, I tell you. But I got caught up, man. I can't let this mess go. I can't let these folks keep pulling it. You know what I'm saying? I'd be remiss if I just let them have their way. So, y'all do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share my videos. Follow me on all the other platforms. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you stay subscribed and you're not unsubscribed against your will. Check out the merch store. Text MAGA to this number, 330-974-4607. And if you want to drop a couple nickels into my monthly fundraiser, there's a link below this video to do that. Now, with that being said, I should be back tomorrow. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Let's bounce, baby, bounce, baby, bounce, 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 baby. I know you see the goons. I know you see the way we tear up the place. Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.